Could've lost myself in your eyes, in your smile.
Hi guys, thank you for joining me today. It is time to get ready, get up, get to work, and be productive. And gosh, you know, I think I've said this before, on Mondays, sometimes I have to actually look extra glam on Mondays because I've had a great weekend. I don't feel like being at work on a Monday. And so I actually like to take an extra few minutes whenever I get dressed on a Monday morning, just because I don't want to look the way sometimes I feel going into the office. So today we're going to do a nice smoky eye look. I have something to do this evening after work, so I'm going to go ahead and play with a little bit of color. I may darken it up sometime this evening before I get to my evening event, but I'm going to work with you all on blending today. This weekend I saw a lady who just had stripes on her eye. I stared at her face the whole time, you know, at her eyelid, like, man, I wish she had a blending brush, or man, I wish she tuned into one of my episodes. We could have really buffed that down a little bit. So, but no shade to her. Hopefully she doesn't see this channel. No, I'm talking about her. I didn't think about that. You know, we gotta love each other more as women. We can't be tearing each other down. I'm speaking to myself right now. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder saying, stop, that wasn't nice. It's true, but it was not nice to say. Alrighty, ladies, as you know, I'm going to start with my brows. Why start with your eyeshadow? Whenever it is powder, it's going to fall all over that beautiful skin that you've taken time to prep. So I'm going to start with my eyebrows here, just using my little spoodle and grooming those a little bit. And I am following the natural form and shape of my eyebrows here as I fill them in. I'm using my $1 Billion Brows. I love this color. The shade is absolutely perfect. As you all know, I'm going to put all of the items that I use in the description box below, including the brushes for the blending, since I was being extra shady at the beginning of this video talking about blending brushes. But I'm going to do top and bottom, just following that brow, making sure that I get my tail nice and even. I have naturally thick, full brows, and so I don't have to do a lot to fill in that brow area, but I do definitely like to go in with a few flicks of my wrist to fill those in. Ladies, please make sure you don't just draw those lines on the outside of your brows, like trace them and don't fill the inside. You want to make sure you look as natural and soft as possible. Like I said, I love $1 Billion Brows. They have been really my go-to brow pencil here as of late. I have a little mini version here of it, but yeah, she's good. She's real good. Alrighty, now that we have my nose is really itching, guys, I'm sorry. Now that we have our brows on, you know what, I said I was gonna try a new eye primer today. It is the Thank Me Later by Elizabeth Moat eye primer. I'm actually going to apply this with my finger. I do not know about this product. You all know I like to try products with you all the first time. Sometimes I don't like to warn you all. I don't like to warn myself. Let's just see how it works in real life. So I'm actually going to use my finger. I'm applying this to my finger, which, you know, I don't really like applying product with your fingers just because you do carry a lot of stuff on your hands. You just don't ever know what is on there, but I don't know how this product works or how it's going to react with any of my brushes. And I love my brushes and I don't want to ever mess up the integrity of them for any reason. Although now that I feel this, this primer easily could have been applied with a concealer brush, would have done absolutely no harm. It feels really smooth, and you all know I love concealers as primers. But the just for the 2-in-1 of it all. But if you do have your hand on a good primer, it just really gets your lid ready to receive powder liner. Now it's not going to cover up any of those veins. You see, I have a lot of veins in my eyebrow, sorry, in my eyelid, but it does prepare your lid for eyeshadow. I like this one. It's very, it has a really good consistency to it, really soft. I'll let that settle in and dry there for a little bit. So we're going to go in with our brows. I'm going to be using a combination. I'm using all MAC eyeshadows today. I'm going to be combining Bamboo and a little Naked Lunch. Little Naked Lunch has a little bit of a shimmer shine to it, and that Bamboo is a really matte color. As always, flicking my brush there. Okay, so now we've covered our brow all the way with your eyeshadow, making really nice smooth circular motions. We talk about not choking up on that brush. If you want blotchy eyeshadow, hold your brush like this. It's too close. It's funny to say that you have more control the further back that you hold your brush, but you truly do. You want control. This is what control looks like whenever you're applying eyeshadow. Whenever it's too close, you can't actually really apply your eyeshadow well. There is a time to choke up, and we'll talk about when it is a good time to choke up on your brush there. Okay, so I saw this technique, and this evening, yesterday evening, when I was watching something, and it was just so true about how sometimes we will cut off our eyeshadow because we don't put the eyeshadow out far enough. Our eyeshadow should run a line between the end of your eyebrow and where your crease line starts. If you don't do this, you kind of create a new shape for your eye, and it cuts you off and it makes you look really bizarre. Honestly, if we don't extend our brows further than where they naturally lie, they should really line up pretty perfectly with our eyebrows, so that when you're creating a really soft look whenever you're going in with your crease color. I hope that makes sense, and I'm going to show you better. Of course, I can show you better than I can tell you, but I'm going to come all over my lid with Embark. This is one of these, Saddle. This is one of those great go-to browns that I use often. Now I am holding my eye taunt here. I am not pulling on that eye at all because I do not want to change the shape of my eye. Because when you pull it too tight and you let it go, you've changed where that eyeshadow actually lives. So I'm gonna keep my eye. This is just holding it all really nice and still. So remember we talked about a time where you choke up on the brush a little bit more? This is it. When you're being very intentional about where you're putting your color, you can come up on that brush just a little bit because you know exactly where you're putting that color and you mean to put that color in there very heavy. If you were blending, you would definitely work your hands back on that brush a little bit more. Okay, so I have a nice coverage there with that saddle. I am now going to show you what I was attempting to tell you earlier about making your eye shape, your eyeshadow, especially when you're dealing with your crease, kind of align with your eyebrow. So if I were to come in way in here with this eyeshadow, it's going to change the shape of my eye. You really want to start right where your eye naturally aligns to start your crease color, because it makes your eye just appear larger, appear more full. It gives your eye a little bit of a lift, which is all the things that you want. You don't want your eyes to look short and squinty and small. You want them to look bright and larger and lifted, and you want to actually be able to see the eyeshadow that you're using. So I'm going to start actually right out here in the very outside corner. As you see, I'm falling in line right here with my eyeshadow, with my eyebrow. And I'm going to build my crease. Keeping that brush in a good circular motion is so important to making sure that you don't have those lines in your eyeshadow. You want to make sure this is blended very well. You see how I'm just simply making small circles with this brush through that crease line, right where I want the eyeshadow to land. I am in complete control of where all of my eyeshadow falls, but at the same time I'm blending that in so that I don't get any of those really harsh lines of, this highlighter, lid color, crease color. You want it to all blend very, very nicely. So now, speaking of blending, I'm coming in with an absolutely clean brush. This has absolutely no product on it. This is a MAC brush 224. I believe it's a 224. Let me get another brush. Yeah, 224. I've got a lot of brushes hanging around the same size. So 224, great for being able to blend your highlighter color with your crease color. Again, your idea is not to have these thick lines. Using a clean brush really enables you to blend those lines really well, but without applying any additional color. Because we have all the color placement that we need. We just want to make sure that those lines are not so dark there and blended. Okay, this is where we test our theory about putting on eyeshadow. I love this test because I see so many women that put on their foundation first and then they have fallout from their eyeshadow, and now their now their faces all has all these dark eyeshadow colors on them. So just do your eyes first, then you won't have to worry about it. Fall off the eyeshadow and just simply wipe it. I'm using the e.l.f. cleansing cloths today for my face. They've been my go-to cleansing cloth here lately. Great price. Yes, I'm cheating on my MAC cleansing cloths. I never thought that day would happen. Here we are. Money get funny, honey. Okay. This is all nice and clean. There, I'm gonna use just a very thin eyeliner today, just to outline my eyes. This is the time to plug for if you want a liquid eyeliner tutorial, just let me know in the description box below. Not with this gapping eyeliner. I wish it looked better. So I'm going in with my Marc Jacobs kohl liner for underneath. I'm absolutely in love with Marc Jacobs eyeliners and mascara. I hope you guys can see that okay. It is retractable, which I also really, really love. Speaking of Marc Jacobs, he has fallen in love with him for all things eyes. This is the Marc Jacobs mascara as well. Okay, I've applied 2 coats of the Marc Jacobs mascara to my eyelashes. I love the clumpy mascara. This is their Velvet Noir by Marc Jacobs. Absolutely love all things Marc Jacobs for my eyes, especially that eye kohl. It just gives such a great look. So now we're going to go in with our skin. You see our eyeshadow is just staying right in place. I'm really liking so far this primer. I have really oily under and creases for my eyes, and so typically around this time when I'm ready to start doing my face is when I realize I'm starting to get creases. So so far so good on the eye primer. I'm really liking that. I love unboxing products with you all. I'll try it out when we try it out together. We'll see how it works. Just kind of live in real life. Real life isn't scripted. Neither is this channel. So I'm actually using my foundation brush for this. Of course, I have plenty of concealer brushes, but it's Monday. I'm in a rush. This foundation brush will work just as well as your standard concealer brush. Of course, your concealer brush and your foundation brush are made of the exact same hair, and so it's still going to give you that same you're going to get the same results. So if you had to choose when you're buying brushes, which one to get, I definitely highly recommend a quality foundation brush over having to get a really thin concealer brush, because you're never going to, I mean, it's going to take you years to put on your foundation with this, but you can do both with just one of these. So today we're going to use the matte and Poreless by Maybelline. It's the spicy brown 338 by Maybelline. I've kind of really been digging this color lately. It's got a really nice finish to it. It does get you really good in matte, which is what I need for the day. Whenever I'm going throughout my day, I don't carry a makeup bag with me. I do not want to ever have to pull out a compact to ensure that my makeup is in place, and this gives me really good long all day wear. I actually use a brush. I dip it inside of my foundation. As you continue to do this, you'll know exactly how much to use. I see some women that pour it right on their face or use a sponge to apply. You know, y'all know I'm frugal. I don't like to use more product than I have to. And so this gives me the opportunity to really be able to gauge how much product I actually need to pull out. If I need more, I can dip again. If I don't need any more, then I have enough right here on the back of my hand. I'm gonna work off of my hand today using my cloth. Simply clean off my brush, make it smooth. No harm done there. I'm gonna go ahead and get in with this foundation. Like I said, I cannot say enough about this. The Matte and Poreless by Maybelline gives a really nice clean finish to the skin. I'm gonna start in my middle here by my nose, and I'll work my way out, applying that foundation. I'm actually gonna do a foundation contour highlighting whole episode, because we need it. We need to talk about that. Alrighty, our time is winding down here. We're gonna go ahead and get our contour on, some cute lips. I am actually going to use the 169 brush from MAC. It has a really nice angle on it here. I'm gonna go in with my trusted and loved blunt. I have been using blunt for years for contouring. I really don't care what complexion you are, blunt, it just really works. You want to go in with a color just slightly darker than your complexion. And I'm going to, here are my cheekbones here, I'm going to go right underneath my cheekbones, starting in the very back. And I'm going to chisel out me some highlighting, I'm sorry, some low light. We call this low lighting here. Gonna hit this chin. I don't want her to show today. Look nice and snatched all day if I can help it. Hit my hairline. I know I got a big old forehead. And no bangs to help me out here. So you kind of want to go in a 3 when you think about your your contouring. So you want to hit right here, and your chin. It's kind of like my little cheat there in a 3. So I have going back in with one of those clean brushes. It was clean earlier, the 224 brush. I'm actually going to use that to contour my nose, starting right here at my brow. I'm going to come all the way down the side of my nose here. I'm going to loop it around to give my nose a little bit of a lift. And I'm coming right back down on the other side. Now, there's a little bit of a break right here in your nose that you actually want to be able to make with your contouring. You've already ran your concealer down the center of your nose, but everyone's nose has this little bitty line in it, kind of where your nose will crease right in here. You're going to actually just run it right looks a lot more realistic. Okay, so now that our face is done, we're gonna come in and just hit our cheeks with a little bit of blush here. I am using the OFRA Cosmetics line. They actually have a line that is called Blunt. It came in this little package. It's really convenient. I noticed on the line that they do have palettes that you can get to put yours in. I've clearly love it and have worn it down, like down. I don't even know this is sanitary any longer. It looks so bad. But I'm obsessed with this Formate. It is very similar to matte Formate. The same idea when applying blush is the same whenever you're applying eyeshadow. You don't want to choke up on that brush too tight. You want to be able to build, and you want to start in the back so that if you get too much blush on, you're not starting right here in the middle where you don't have anywhere to go and you can't wipe it off. If you have to wipe off back here, you at least don't have to ruin your whole face, and where you really started and your focal point is right here in the middle. So you'd hate to have to reapply foundation and concealer, and it may not be even, and you get yourself into a whole big old pickle. Okay, so we have we're gonna do some lips here. I hope I don't mispronounce this. Is it Laritzy? I should have practiced the name before coming on here with you guys. Again, never worn this color before. I love packaging things with you all. I know that it is a matte color. I'm putting it on my hand, and it dries really quickly. This is gonna be another one where you can't mess it up. You mess it up and you're stuck. I'm gonna just apply a gracious amount here on the bottom of my lips. It's a little sheer. I'm gonna blot just a little bit. Using the point of my applicator here, I'm gonna come up and around. I was hoping this would have a little bit more pink in it. But it doesn't. It's a little, meh. Too bad I can't say the name. I just keep wanting to say Larry. I don't know. That's not it. I'm starting to run out of time this morning for getting dressed. So the pronunciation of this is like, I don't know. I'm gonna practice it though, and I'm gonna get back to you guys. I do kind of like the color. It's a very nude type color. It may need to go in with just a little liner just to not let me look so washed out. I was hoping that it would be a little bit pinker, but I'm going in with Cork here. Okay guys, here we are. Thank you all for getting dressed with me this morning. I appreciate it. You guys go out today and feel just as confident as you look. You look good. You deserve everything that will happen to you today. At least all the good things. Somebody cuts you off, you did not deserve that, but you just give it to the Lord anyway. Until next time, bye.